Harry and Meghan have stirred up controversy again with their latest actions, upsetting many, including royal expert Kinsey Schofield, who has openly criticized them. So, what exactly happened? Let's dive into it in this video. Hello, friends, welcome back to the King YouTube channel. As you might already know, Harry is scheduled to attend a ceremony celebrating the 10th anniversary of Invictus at St. Paul's Cathedral in London on Wednesday, May 8th. Rumor has it that Meghan Markle won't be joining him for this event, though she will be at all the other Invictus events. Meghan and Harry are heading to Nigeria after being invited by the country's chief of defense staff. They'll meet with service members and their families and take part in traditional cultural activities, according to Nigerian media. Some people are calling this a mini royal tour, which is upsetting many. Harry and Meghan continue to act like royals even though they aren't anymore. In a newsletter, Kinsey Schofield shared her strong feelings, saying they quit this job. I'm offended at the idea of a mini royal tour. She also criticizes the tour as a publicity stunt, comparing it to hiring a backup celebrity for events. It's clear that Harry and Meghan's standing in both Britain and the US is questionable. There are concerns about their lack of real projects. Despite all their announcements, they can't even manage their organizations and charities properly. The Invictus Games is a perfect example. Harry received a lot of support from the royal family when establishing the Invictus Games. Without their help, he wouldn't have been able to make it as successful as it is today. But after leaving the royal family, Harry and Meghan acted irresponsibly and harmed the reputation of Invictus. Invictus was founded to support veterans, but now it seems like a fashion show for Meghan Markle, a way for her to get attention while Harry stands by looking foolish. Some veterans even went on strike and stopped attending the games. The event has clearly lost much of its appeal, which is why Harry and Meghan need positive PR, so they decided to involve the royal family in all of this. Harry and Meghan put the royal family in a tough spot by publicly announcing that they hoped the royal family would join them for the Invictus anniversary to show solidarity. Harry acts like he and Meghan never hurt the family. It feels like blackmail. If the royal family agrees to participate, it will seem like they don't care about all the damage Harry and Meghan caused over the years. On the other hand, if no royal family members show up, Harry and Meghan will complain that they were snubbed. We've seen this before. Harry and Meghan love to play the victim. The feud between Harry, Meghan, and the royal family is clear to see. I don't believe senior royals will attend the Invictus Games event. Most people despise Harry and Meghan because they use everyone for self-serving PR. They are just ridiculous. When will they stop acting like they're royals? They're not. They chose to walk away and have even accused their family of crimes without evidence. Why are they still trying to get handouts and make money off their royal connections? This mini royal tour idea is baffling. They're not touring on behalf of the royal family. Remember, even the late Queen forbade them from using royal along with Sussex, yet they're doing something similar in a less obvious way. Buckingham Palace needs to put a stop to this. Harry is not a working royal. He can go to Nigeria, sure, but he shouldn't act like it's some kind of semi-royal tour. Anything Harry and Meghan do is just for show. They lack substance and have nothing meaningful to offer. Look at their failing charities. They certainly aren't starting anything worthwhile. Invictus wasn't their organization anyway, it was Harry's, and Meghan got involved later without contributing much. It's sad that as we approach the 10th anniversary, the focus is still on their drama instead of the events. If Harry has time to visit Nigeria, maybe he can also visit the Baka people in the Congo to address the scandal involving his African park charity rangers. Harry has let this issue linger for too long. Something needs to be done. I wonder what the real royal family thinks about this faux royal tour to Nigeria. It's time to remove their titles, honestly. Harry and Meghan are just trying to gaslight the public, making appearances they have no business making. They are pushing for this half-in, half-out royal scheme again, trying to act like they're on a royal tour. They hope that by continuing this, they can create their own new monarchy and become king and queen. They wanted to be representatives of the Commonwealth, but the late queen firmly said no. Now they seem to think they can just do it anyway. They must think everyone is as foolish as they are and that our memories are as short as theirs. They've already gone to Canada, trying to pass themselves off as royals when meeting with Native people. Remember, Harry promised to meet with them again next year. They've also been to Jamaica, acting important, and now Nigeria is next. But they're not part of the official royal family. When will everyone realize they have no official royal business anywhere? No matter which Commonwealth countries they visit, it won't be an official visit. Given Harry and Meghan's lack of intelligence, they'll likely mess things up. The royal family must be feeling disappointed, especially seeing the current state of Invictus, which they helped Harry create. Now that it's up to him to run, just look at what's happened. Harry needed a lot of help to start Invictus, and now with Meghan Markle's influence, it seems like he's ruining it, which is a disgrace. It was once a great organization, and I don't understand why Harry is allowed to do this. I feel sorry for the veterans. Meghan is leading Harry down a destructive path, but he's also to blame. He's chosen to follow Meghan blindly. Meghan isn't a self made woman like she pretends to be. She acts independent, but her father supported her throughout her youth and university. Then she discarded him once he was no longer useful. The same fate awaits Harry, just like any man in Meghan's life. If Meghan thinks her presence is needed at the Invictus celebration in May, she's mistaken. She'll never be required in the UK again. She doesn't belong at those games, perhaps because she won't be the center of attention. That's why she doesn't want to come. That's why they've arranged this fake Nigerian tour so she can organize photo ops to seem popular. They may despise the real royal family, but they crave the fame and money that comes with being royal. Pretending to represent royals is appalling. They say a leopard never changes its spots well. The same goes for Harry and Meghan. After all the lies and deceit we've seen from them over the past 5 years, it's hard to trust either of them. Their actions are indefensible and toxic. They should stay far away from Harry's family in Britain. I'm not happy they're in the US, but at least they're all the way in California. Harry left his family and his home because he thought it wasn't safe for them. He's living in the US now and even trying to become a citizen. It's funny because he's always talking about being scared of cameras and being super cautious, but then he goes to movie premieres in Jamaica and now he's visiting Nigeria. I never realized Nigeria was safer than Britain. You learn something new every day. Visiting the UK with family is a no go because they're worried about security, but Nigeria? Oh, that's a different story. Despite it being on the travel safety warning list, they feel perfectly safe there. It's hard for me to understand their thinking. As for the grifters, they're busy finding ways to boost their own image. That's their main focus now. The car parks were honored by the late Queen to represent the Commonwealth, but they weren't interested. They didn't want to mingle with certain people. So instead, they spread lies and blamed others for their issues, refusing to take responsibility. I'm not sold on the grifters, no matter what the PR folks say. To me, they're just not trustworthy. The way they treated the late Queen, unforgivable. I can't shake my dislike for them. And who knows what stunt Meghan Markle might pull next. Remember that car chase in New York? Maybe she'll try something similar in Nigeria or stage another fake accident. It's just one drama after another with them. And then they'll probably blame the royal family for not rushing to their aid, playing the victim yet again and pointing fingers at Meghan's skin color. This whole fake royal tour thing is exactly why they should lose their titles. I get that Parliament needs to kick off the process and King Charles needs to give the okay, but they've got to start it. Without those titles, Harry and Meghan can't pretend to be royals when they're not. They're just regular folks, and their constant playing at being royals is really offensive and needs to stop. Claiming it's related to Invictus, now it's all about putting on a show. Trying to make Harry seem like a statesman? Come on, nobody's buying it. Harry didn't choose to step back, he was pushed, and he never agreed to stop doing royal stuff. Bet he's going to have a whole bunch of security in Nigeria to make himself look important. Harry and Meghan keep going on about their brand, but what exactly is their brand? Did they leave their royal duties just so Meghan could promote herself and Harry could give and get questionable awards? They won't lift a finger to help the suffering Baka people in Africa or address the atrocities of African park charities, but suddenly they have time for Nigeria. Why would the chief of defense in Nigeria even want to meet with them? And if Harry is so scared of everything and can't go to the UK, why risk going to a place known for its dangers? It just shows how dishonest they are and how Harry just wants free security in the UK where they don't even live. The whole Nigeria trip is just bizarre and very suspicious, if you ask me. So now Meghan supposedly wants to go to Nigeria with Harry to connect with her roots. Laughs. She did claim she's 43% Nigerian, but it seems Nigerians aren't exactly welcoming her with open arms. I have a friend from Nigeria, and she told me in Nigerian culture, family is everything. You don't disrespect your family or throw them under the bus. It's just not done. My friend thinks maybe Meghan wants to embrace Nigerian culture, but Nigerians aren't interested in embracing her. I really hope someone from the royal family steals the spotlight on the day of the Nigerian tour. Anything to shift the focus away from Harry and Meghan. Right now, they're failing big time. It's like they're in free fall. Makes me wonder how Harry feels. He grew up in such a privileged world, yet he's acting like a total fool most of the time. Trying to outshine his smarter, cooler brother, and then getting tangled up with this Z-list actress who made him think he's something special. Feeling let down by his family, he followed her to America, where he's now just known as the Spare. Then came the lies, like the New York car chase and the accusations of racism. They seemed ready to sell their souls for money, and when there was nothing left to sell, they turned to selling jam and dog food laughs. Anyway, back to Invictus. Things started to fall apart when Meghan Markle showed up and made it all about herself. The latest event in Vancouver was a mess. We didn't see any veterans being interviewed or find out who won anything. It was all about Meghan's outfits and how much Invictus had to pay for their travel, meals, and speaking fees. We saw Harry goofing off on a toboggan, but nothing from the veterans. I think a lot of donation money has dried up because of Meghan. Harry claims he's loyal to Invictus, but his actions say otherwise. Keeping Meghan happy seems more important to him than showing real loyalty to Invictus, letting her turn it into her personal fashion show. It's supposed to be about the veterans, right? Yet reports say the Invictus Foundation had to shell out around PS 300,000 for Meghan's wardrobe for just 1 week. Couldn't she have just worn Invictus t-shirts? She needed her own wardrobe. Is Harry even thinking about what his wife is costing him and the organization he claims to care about? Probably not, because it seems like he doesn't really care. Besides, it's not just Harry's Invictus Games. Prince William, Princess Catherine, and Harry started it together, but Harry was in charge of running it, and he's run it right into the ground. Harry and Meghan probably think their visit to Nigeria will generate some buzz for Invictus, but it won't work. How dare Harry try to present this as an official visit? Who is he representing? He's not representing the UK or the US. Harry is such a joke. He's too scared to visit the UK, but he's fine going to Nigeria, so hypocritical. The nerve of them to call this an African tour a royal tour. It's just like when they went to that movie premiere acting like royalty. They are overstepping their bounds, and I wish someone would shut them down for good. They're not working royals. The Queen made it clear they couldn't be half in, half out. But Meghan doesn't like hearing no. When she hears it, she makes sure to break the rule she wants to break, and Harry goes along with it. They can go to Africa, but they can't call it a royal tour. They're not working royals, and it shows such disrespect to the late Queen. They're going for business reasons, not for culture. If you look into what they're financially involved in, you'll see it's all about money. It's crucial to take away their titles as soon as possible. This visit is just another example of Harry and Meghan chasing power, fame, and money. They're so delusional, always trying to grab attention. Meghan's at it again, trying to manifest her way into the spotlight. It's when someone makes statements about the future, hoping they'll come true, but they don't. Narcissists do this to get what they want now in Meghan's case, attention and the appearance of being important. The grifters never deliver on their promises, but they get attention from people expecting results. It's much easier to talk the talk than to walk the walk. Meghan never follows through, but she gets the attention she's so desperate for, and that's all that matters to her. If Harry is going to Nigeria for Invictus, why is Meghan tagging along? She was asked not to attend the Invictus celebration this year, so her presence makes no sense. It's clear she just wanted a free trip. Harry and Meghan are turning Invictus into Meghan's personal fashion show and a way for Harry to get good PR. It's really sad that UK service personnel, their families, and Invictus athletes won't have real royal family members with them at the games because of Harry and Meghan's selfishness and foolishness. If we ask the veterans who they prefer to represent them, Prince William and Princess Catherine or Harry and Meghan, the answer would be obvious. So, Harry and Meghan, why don't you just quit? Why bother with this fake royal tour? It's not going to achieve what you want. Does Harry think Americans love him? Because we don't. He has no talent and no interest in making an honest living. Listening to him drone on with a bunch of word salad is unbearable. Harry doesn't put effort into anything real. Didn't he say cameras triggered his PTSD? Yet now, because Meghan wants attention, everything they do is filmed by Netflix. Honestly, their next move is probably a reality show. Harry and Meghan quit the royal family and their duties, so why are they still acting like royals? It's embarrassing, and I can't understand why the royal family isn't stopping this madness. If you quit your job, don't act like you still have it when it's convenient. Harry might even make promises on behalf of the UK, like he did with the First Nations chief. It's way past time to take their titles away. These con artists won't be stopped otherwise. They're so full of themselves and out of touch. For all their talk about wanting privacy, they're constantly in the public eye. Are they really as worried about security as they claim? It's funny how they feel unsafe in the UK but perfectly fine going to Nigeria. I'd love to know their thought process.